Hi there, welcome to the Binary 10 podcast. My name's James Blake, I'm the CEO of Binary 10.
And my name's Steve Smales, and I am the Chief Operating Officer. Welcome to the series of podcasts where we like to talk about all things data migration related.
And also, we'll talk about the human side of running a business, so we hope you enjoy.
Ho, 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 and a warm welcome to the Binary 10 Data Migration Podcast. I am joined today, as always, by our Chief Operating Officer, who is in Lapland, Steve Smales. How are you doing, Steve?
I'm doing well, Andy. Yeah, sorry for the might be a delay in the speech because obviously I'm a long way away. It's very cold here as well, so you might see me shivering a bit. And also the camera might be a bit low res as well. The internet's not that great in the North Pole.
And we're also joined by our Chief Executive, James Blake. Jamie, how are you?
Well, ho, ho, ho to yourself. I am very well in the festive season. Really looking forward to a well-earned break for myself, but also the rest of the team. And we've got a hell of a lot to do next year. So it's a good time of year to just reflect and, just cozy on into those festivities. So looking forward to it. And also thinking about upping Steve's salary as well, because we got to get him to turn his heating on. Got to help him out.
Yeah, cold up north.
Cold up north. You're in Guildford. That's not anywhere near the north.
ruined the illusion.
Sorry. Guildford in the North Pole. Sorry, Guildford in the North Pole. I do apologise. For this Christmas special, what we wanted to do was just to look at the ghosts of Christmas past, present and future for Binary 10 and wish all our clients and customers and listeners to the podcast a Merry Christmas while we're here as well. So let's start with the ghost of Christmas past. Jamie, let you start. What is the ghost of Christmas past for you? What was the best thing from 2025?
Well, when you said ghost, I thought I'd actually start with maybe a bit of a negative story, and I was thinking about probably a ghost for a lot of people is obviously, quite a few years ago we went through COVID, didn't we? And it resonates with me, that story, because I remember we were sort of 3 years into our new consultancy. Things were going fantastic. We were running sort of 6, 7 projects. It was great. And then, so sad for the country, for the world, everyone sort of had to take a step back. And I just remember the day it happened. Not only, everyone terrified and being really worried about what was going to happen, but actually just, all of a sudden getting a phone call from just one after the other from all our clients, ever so sorry, but we're stopping, we're pausing, this happening. And you almost couldn't believe it, and it always, when you said the ghost Christmas, I thought about that. I thought, whilst that was such a sad and challenging time, actually the resilience it built in us, that's the positive we took from it, right? We didn't stop. We could have easily just given up because it was so difficult. And I just remember Steve, you would always continue to talk about that moment, right? About how, oh God, yeah, we went from, heroes to literally zeros, as I'm sure lots of people did. But we built some great resilience there to come out of that.
Yeah, and I think it's a very good point. It did affect everyone. I think from our point of view, just trying to start that business from scratch and getting it to such a good point so early on, and then just seeing it all disappear and pretty much having to start from scratch. We did get one client out of those back, but a lot of those projects were canned and didn't come back again, which is understandable. So it was a bit of a kick in the teeth, but we've, like you say, we've shown that resilience. We've fought back and grown bigger than we were before that point. So it's a I think a horrible experience for pretty much everyone around the world, wasn't it? But at least from our point of view, we have managed to fight back.
I think it really made you focus on business fundamentals, didn't it, when COVID happened? Because you had to really focus on what was essential for the business and what was good to have, what was nice to have, and kind of what spun out from there. And I know you've done a couple of episodes of kind of business startup podcasts as well as part of this series last year. What other lessons did you learn then that you might want to share with the listeners?
The reality was, for me, it's different for everyone. But actually, in those first sort of 6 to 8 weeks, business wasn't priority, I'm afraid. It was family first and foremost. It was friends. It was just trying to relate to this new world and get contact. And that's why I think it did make it difficult to continue the business, at pace. We had to make sure that we were grounded, that we were sorted, that we were safe. And then from that point on, it was about reaching back out to people, trying to do other things that we wouldn't normally do. We were offering services, at reduced rates, even some extra work that we would bolt on just to help, our partners and our clients actually get back on their feet and get moving again on some of these programs that they need to do. And of course, the obvious one, a bit like what we're doing now, we had to adapt very quickly and get really good at working from home, and actually working online and collaborating and getting used to this new ways of working, which obviously we're still doing today, and the whole world's changed as a part of it. But yeah, it was a challenging time indeed. And yeah, but like I said, we have to look back on these things in a positive way. We appreciate it, very difficult at the time, lots of sad stories, but we all have to learn from it, and we all have to move forward, and we've definitely done that. So yeah, proud of all the team that helped us do it.
And any podcast highlights from you, Steve, for the Ghost of Christmas Past?
Yeah, I suppose I was just going to say that about Jamie's point that it's, COVID did change the way we work with all the remote working and everything. And obviously we used to be on client sites, and now the vast majority of our work is remote. But we still do get together, various points, and myself and Jamie particularly get together quite regularly. And out of that came the podcasts, and that's been brilliant. And that's been really good to see them progress. And we've actually, started to get work through our podcast now, which is really good. So yeah, I quite enjoyed the series about the starting a business. I quite enjoyed that, because although the bulk of the podcast we've done have been around data migration, and we'll start to do more later on other areas that we do around data quality and integrations. But I think, I quite enjoyed the stuff about the starting the business and how we've progressed that through the years.
So let's move forward in time, when, if you listen carefully, you can hear the chains of the Ghost of Christmas Present just entering the chat. There they come. So, Steve, the Ghost of Christmas Present, from the sort of, last month, this, where we are now, maybe up to Christmas and just after, what is it that's kind of stood out for you?
Been really, really busy, which is good. We've had a couple of new projects kick off, so that's very exciting. We're getting more advanced in terms of internal projects that we're working on. We're going to carry on through into next year. So that's got some really exciting stuff to announce at various points during the new year. I think the most important thing, though, is the Binary 10 Christmas party, which is always an event. And we've got that planned for London this Saturday. We'll be going to the Oxo Tower Brasserie and then on to the Old Vic to watch A Christmas Carol, funny enough, where I think something to do with three spirits from past, present and future showed them. Something along those lines. I think Andy might have heard of it.
Were the three spirits vodka, gin and brandy?
Well, I'm hoping so.
I know it. I know it well. But yeah, look, I think the social calendar that you put together, both professionally and socially, if you want to say that. So we have team get-togethers 4 times a year, which is really important when everyone's working remotely, to come together to Reading and get to know each other, get to share what we're doing. It's superb that we do those. But also the social aspect is really important to keep that team cohesion. So look, for me, from one of the team, sort of hat off to you for Santa hat off if I was wearing one for putting those together. And what about you, Jamie, for your Ghost of Christmas Present?
Yeah, I mean, I might sort of skip back a couple of months, but sort of in the recent past, and it's just to sort of resonate a bit more on what you've talked about there. Yes, absolutely coming together and doing these events on a quarterly basis. I mean, we did one recently in Reading, and we put on a bit of a treasure hunt, totally separate from business, but an opportunity for a bit of a, competition within the team, but also to go out and try and, beat this treasure trail in Reading. And what was fantastic is that we've got, a lot of people on the team that, probably prefer to be in the pub or would like to go and have a drink. But come, I think it's about 5:30 in the evening, and we've still got like 12 of us, all just walking around in the dark, trying to finish this treasure trail because we were so determined to get there. And actually, we did. We got back in the pub at 6 o'clock, and we were like, yes, we've got the answer. Unfortunately, we were all completely wrong. So, whilst we braved it right to the end, it turned out that was quite a tricky treasure hunt, and we just missed it at the last second, which was a shame. But what a team performance, and I just loved that. It was great to just see everyone, really getting into it, really taking part. And then and then finally, just to add one more, was the we did the Walk for Good challenge, and that's something that I really enjoy. Actually doing something for charity, something that we can all get together on, and then obviously your good self got involved as well. And just the things that you learn about certain individuals that seem to walk once around the planet every day and do more steps than I think I do in a whole year, to other individuals that looked as if they didn't get out of their bedroom for the whole day. And we're all different, and we all live life in a different way. And but it was just great that everyone contributed to that, and we raised, God, I think it was just under £1,000 for charity. So that was that was one that I really enjoyed, and that's leading on to. I'm sure we'll talk about the future, but that is, that's on our list now. That is something we're going to do regularly because of all the benefits that brought. Brilliant.
I think for me, the bit about the last team day that was really fantastic was the lunch bit where everyone brought a snack that kind of reflected where they were from. So we've got team members from the very south coast all the way up to Durham, which is almost as far north as where Steve is now in the North Pole. We've also got team members from India, Brazil, Poland, different places around the world. And everyone brought something that reflected where they lived or where they were from. So we had this great diverse selection of food, from Korean snacks to Brazilian sweets and Indian desserts, and just cheese and onion crisps from Northern Ireland. Just different things, which was a really lovely way of putting everyone together. So I thought that was fantastic when we did that.
No, it was brilliant. And there was one other thing to mention. So this is, I'm sorry, everyone, I want to go back to work, but something amazing happened actually in this last month. So one of our higher education customers that we've just delivered for on a big program, data migration, I won't go through the whole story of it, but it's been very successful towards the end. But we actually did a lessons learned recently, classic lessons learned that you do at the end of the project. And actually, we spent half the time learning about how on earth we managed to deliver, in the last sort of 8 to 12 weeks when everyone was up against it and it looked forever and a day that we were going to have to extend the program by another 3 months in order to achieve everything. Somehow, and this isn't just Binary 10, this is our partner organizations as well. The whole team came together, lots of long hours, hard work, focused work, just a management team that was just keeping everyone focused and, supporting them as best they can. And we actually spent a good, like I said, half the lessons learned, a good half an hour just recording about things that went well. And that was the first time. And again, you think about this, don't you? You think, yeah, why don't we do this all the time? Like every lessons learned is always about, oh, well, that didn't work out well. That wasn't a good thing to do. But yeah, unbelievably, the team were half an hour. They were like, oh, wasn't that good when the manager pulled us in and did that planning session for an hour and got us focused? And wasn't that good when we got together and did that hackathon for the... And I was just like, this is brilliant. And we've taken so much out of that we are going to bleed into, all our programs going forward. And so that was a nice little nugget from me, just that how lessons learned can be about the good lessons, as well as the constructive negative ones.
So Steve, for the ghost of Christmas yet to come, as we move over to the final spirit of this particular podcast, I want you to put yourself December 2026 in your little igloo in North Pole, as I'm sure you will be again next year. And I want you to look back and reflect on what a year Binary 10's had for 2026. What sort of things are you hoping you will see in that 12 months?
I suppose the main thing is the continuation of success in terms of delivering for our clients. We want to start offering new services, which we will start announcing in the new year. So I think we want to expand in terms of what we do, but also just keep that success, but also at the same time keep that sort of feel that we've got within the company that we sort of built up over the years. We all get along as a group. People doing the social events, we always enjoy them. I mean, Jamie spoke earlier about the Walk for Good, and I think certainly next year, hopefully we'll be looking back on a great sort of weekend away. We actually want to get everyone away and do a proper walk together, which would be great for sort of, just team building, not maybe doing, assault courses or anything like that, but just a nice sort of day away. We actually start walking up mountains, but enjoying it, but also raising some money for charity while we're doing it. So I think it's I suppose it's growing the business, but maintaining the success, but still that feeling that we've got that we all get along together, that we have fun while we're doing it. I think that's got to be the main thing.
And the same question to you, Jamie. What would you say is the ghost of Christmas yet to come? What would you reflect on in December 2026?
Well, definitely doing more than 10,000 steps in a day. I just don't understand why my phone doesn't ever seem to show any more than that, when I swear I've been absolutely hammering it around, walking my dog all left, right and centre. So that's a personal goal for me, having partaken in these things. I'm sure there'll be an opportunity for us to do that. But yeah, just building on what Steve said there, really, I think, one of the things that we've talked about is innovation. So, myself and Steve over a number of years have got fantastic methodologies, fantastic tool sets, and they work and they deliver, but they work at, a certain pace and in collaboration with, with partners and other work streams. But how can we do better again? I'd love to be able to look back at the end of next year and actually see how, we've saved organizations further cost. We've been able to do things more efficiently and quicker. And we're going to do that by some of the innovation, activities that we've got set for next year. So that's a real key one from me, not just about, building services and continuing to deliver, good projects. Absolutely, we want to do that, but let's even do it better. Let's prove that we can actually improve and innovate to that sort of top level, which will, we've got to continue to do that, right? It's so easy to just get stuck in the moment and just stuck in what we're good at. We've just got to continually do better. That's going to be the main thing for me, I think. Hopefully that we reflect and that we've gone above and beyond again, and delivered even better for our clients. So yeah, some more good stories, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think continuous improvement is something we're very conscious of.
Well, look, we've got to the end of the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. I have a memory. Maybe this is just from being from a Caribbean family. Is Bob Marley not involved in the story of A Christmas Carol as well? That's Jacob Marley, Bob Cratchit and Jacob Marley. But I'm sure in my household when we were kids, it was Bob Marley who was involved.
Well, I believe close to Three Little Birds, then, wouldn't it? So.
It would be indeed. There you go. We're here. But I believe at the end of every podcast, I'm going to shut up because there's an ending to every show and there's no point ruining it with me talking. So I'll say thank you and goodbye. But Jamie, Steve, over to you to finish the show.
No, thanks. Thanks, Andy. Much appreciated. I mean, I think of Bill Murray, actually, when I think of these ghosts, but is it the Scrooge movie? No, that's definitely my one. But
Scrooged.
No, firstly, it was just, what a year, podcasts only started this year. Fantastic. So many successes again with our clients, looking to build upon it, but also just really build upon our people first value. And, we've got lots of fantastic, incentives and other things coming up for our people, for the people within our client organizations, and super looking forward to delivering them. But no, just a big thank you as well to everybody that's associated with Binary 10, friends, family, colleagues, wishing you all the best Christmas and a happy new year, and can't wait to get cracking again in the future.
Yeah, I'll echo that. And I think the only other thing we just need to say is see you next time, Jamie.
See you next time, Steve.
We really hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for joining our podcasts.
And if you want to see more, please like and subscribe.